Alrighty, guys, so we have a big week coming up for SoFi stock. We have to break down the charts in this video, what I'm looking to do, and most importantly, where I see SoFi stock going in the short term. So, guys, run the likes up. Make sure to subscribe. We're almost at 40,000 subscribers. And with that being said, oh, by the way, make sure to also sign up to the mailing list. It's free. I'm sending you guys my top 3 stocks every single Monday morning. That's linked down below. And with that being said, cheers, guys. Let's dive right into the video. So SoFi, like the entire stock market did on Friday, had a red day. SoFi went down 14 cents, down 1.7% on the day, and it actually closed just a hair above $8, which you guys can see here on the price action on the intraday. We ended up going to $8 and a penny at about 11:15 a.m. on the East Coast. Then we rallied, and then we double topped at about $8.15 at about 3:20 and at about 3:40 p.m. on the East Coast, and then we dumped off pretty aggressively, may I add, into the close on Friday in the last 20 minutes, and that's where we closed at $8.05. So you guys can see clearly we pretty much chopped around $8 to $8.20 all day on Friday. You guys can see that here on the intraday, and on the 5-day 5-minute chart, that's pretty much what we did all week last week. We held support at $8 per share, as you guys can see by that trend line, and resistance was right around $8.30, $8.40, $8.50. We hit $8.53 on the 18th, which I believe that was Thursday, Wednesday. Actually, no, that was on Wednesday. So we were in a pretty tight range last week of about 40 to 50 cents on SoFi. And the thing is, guys, we're at a big resistance on the larger time frames, which I've covered before. But for all the new viewers out there, and if you need a refresher, let's break it down again in this video. So the mid-low eights, that was a big high in the end of August, right? We hit that point. We actually double topped at $8.30 and then dumped down to $6.75 by the 10th of September. So SoFi actually almost got into a bear market there, went down 18% in less than 2 weeks. And since that point, boom, we broke out. We're moving above the moving averages, golden cross, the whole 9 yards. You guys see that here. And on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that we're heading in the right direction, right? Let me show you guys this. We actually called out this ascending triangle, a couple of videos ago. That ended up playing out last week. We took out the highs from the end of August, which now we're back under those highs. But the fact that we took out 830, we hit over 850 this past week. That's a good sign that direction, that the bulls are leading direction here, right? And even if we pull down to the mid-high sevens, 770, 775, right by the moving averages here on the 4-hour, the bulls are still going to be in charge. And honestly, guys, that'd be a spot where I would consider buying the dip. I'm already in SoFi. Obviously, I'm long. My average is 680. But if this thing were to pull down a little bit more, I might consider buying into the weakness, as ultimately I feel like now with the rate cut cycle, right, mortgage demand is starting to increase, which I think that's an under or a slept on part of their business. I think a lot of more, I think they're going to give out a lot of more mortgages, right? A lot more mortgages, rather. I think a lot of people are going to start buying houses at this point that have been sitting on cash, and maybe not a ton yet. I mean, rates only went down 50 basis points for Pete's sake, guys, but they're going to come down even more over time. So I'm looking out a couple quarters forward looking here. I think the mortgage loan origination segment is very slept on right now with SoFi. So I'm thinking any weakness right now into the mid sevens, high sevens would be an opportunity, at least for me, right? As overall, we're heading in the right direction. We're breaking out above the moving averages here, golden cross, everything you want to see on the 4-hour, we're seeing it. So that is kind of what I'm waiting for this week, guys. to see if we come down to about 770. Maybe we bounce off the moving averages, or maybe the pullback that we've already seen is all we're going to get. Maybe it chops around $8 a little bit more. Then maybe it starts to just take off from there back to the mid-8s, high-8s, right? Which for this upcoming week, guys, I'm looking at mid-8s. I always like to look at the highs from the previous week if we're talking really short-term stuff here, guys, which in this case, right around $8.50. So I'm going to put my alert at $8.55, slightly above that high. So if we take that out, and mind you, that was also the high from the end of April, that'd be a good sign that direction is getting even more favorable for the bulls, obviously. And there, from that point, we might fill the gap to about $9.15, which was the high from the end of February, early March. Then from there, $9.45 could be the next target, which we hit that point end of January, right around here. If I zoom in, you guys can see we hit that point, right at that point, right at that time period, right? So, yeah, guys, at this point, you could argue that SoFi might have got a little too hot in the last couple of days, leading up to Thursday, Friday. We saw a ridiculous run in the stock, so I'm not surprised we're cooling off a bit as of Thursday, Friday. Now, the million-dollar question is, do we cool off even more to 770, then see a pop, or is the cool off that we already saw, is that enough, or is that it, and we're just going to start bouncing from here? It's all going to come down to the price action early Monday, and of course Monday in general. It's going to set the tone. If we get a huge bounce back, we start pushing above 830 especially, which was the high from recently, we mentioned it, end of August. That'd be a confirmation that from there, 850, 855's next. If that were to break, boom, the sky's the limit, man. 9.15, mid-9s is where this puppy could be going, guys. So what do you think about SoFi, the charts, kind of what I'm thinking here? Let me know down below in the comments, guys. I'm curious where your head's at, as always. And like I said, I'm long SoFi. I'm in at $6.80. It's almost the 1-year anniversary of me owning SoFi stock. I know some of you guys might have been in it longer, but me personally, I started buying in as the stock just cratered. I mean, this thing was at $28 per share, mind you guys, back in February of 2021. Then it got all the way down to $4 by December of 2022. So almost 2 years later, it went down like 85%. So I started buying after that big plunge. Unfortunately, maybe some of you guys were in it before that into, average cost of teens, 20s even, which would be kind of brutal, I'm not going to lie. But, yeah, I started buying it after the big dump off. I saw some, value there. And at this point, guys, I'm holding on tight. I think a high $6 average is a good price for the stock. Ultimately, I think this is a $10, $12, $15 stock. I've said it before time and time again, and we'll see. We'll see. It's going to take some quarters, maybe a year, 2, 3 years for things to transpire, and I'm willing to wait as I like the company, and it's not a crazy position for me. I have a decent amount of money in it, but it's not like the size of a Google for me or an Amazon. Those are much bigger positions for me, but it is something that it's in my portfolio. It's not a negligible position or anything like that, but it's not a crazy position either. It's kind of right there in the middle. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, run the likes up, and don't forget to get up to 15 stocks from Moomoo. If you guys stuck till the end, you might as well take advantage of this deal. Use that link down below, or go to stocksurfs.com/Moomoo. Open up your account and fund it with at least $100. You get up to 15 stocks, and your uninvested cash for now, clock's ticking, guys, will earn up to 8.1% APY, which is a no-brainer. So again, use that link. It's pinned in the comments, or go to stocksurfs.com/Moomoo, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers. Peace out.